My name is Phyllis, and this story mostly is about my mom. And several years ago, I was having to bring her to the emergency room. Her stomach was swelling, and nobody could find out what was wrong. Finally, one time they did a CA-125, which is a test for ovarian cancer. And her count, I believe, was 1,000, and normal is 35. So of course they recommended we see an oncologist, which is what everybody does. So we went, and he suggested 6 treatments. And after 3, she couldn't walk. She was near death. She was living with me at the time, and she was very weak, and so we discontinued the treatments. And she continued to stay with us for a while, and it got to where I could no longer physically pick her up or handle her, so I had to put her in a nursing home, which is something I didn't want to do. And then our daughter's friend at the time knew about someone who was using a Beam Ray, and they got us the booklet and the video, and it sat on our coffee table for a couple of weeks before we decided to try it, and we did. And then we found out about Brett and Tina, and called and asked if they would see my mom, if we could bring her. And so we did. They lived about 1.5 miles from the nursing home, so I was able to bring her 2 or 3 times a week. And this was probably 6 weeks to 2 months after her last chemo treatment. And so I started bringing her, and eventually we would do, well, let me back up. When she finished her last chemo treatment, I think her blood count was 38 or 40, I don't remember exactly. And so it had brought it down a lot. And so then we continued to see Brett and Tina, and I would ask her doctor to continue with the CA-125 testing so I would know if the Beam Ray was working. And we did that. And it brought it down to, I believe, 26. And it stayed that way. She was in the nursing home for almost 2 years, I think. About 2 years, Ron? And she died November 22nd, 2007. And she was cancer-free. She died from failure to thrive, is what they called it. So the Beam Ray worked. I don't know what we would have done if it wouldn't have been for Brett and Tina. They were so generous and kind and helped a lot. and it was not painful for her, and that's what was good for me. Yeah. So anyway, thank y'all very much. And I also was experiencing back trouble. Every now and then I get back problems, and so I would run a few programs, and my back was still hurting, so I called Brett. I said, Brett, what's going on? He says, try this program or that, you know. And within whatever I don't remember the exact program I used, but he told me, and I used it, and within 30 minutes I was pain-free. So it works. My daughter has had migraines since she's 9 years old. When she gets a migraine, she comes to the house, and it clears her of her pain. So it works. I can't say enough about it, and I can't thank Brett and Tina enough, but mostly for my mom, because she was out of the cancer, and it was just great. Thank you again.